One of the new features that came with the Insta360 X5 was a new mode called Instaframe. Now, this is essentially a way of shooting some video without having to do any editing. It's a little bit complicated when you first go onto this mode, but I am here to make it easy once again. Once you work it out, it's actually fairly self-explanatory. So I'm going to explain what Instaframe is, how to use it, and what kind of content you can create with it. Instaframe is essentially a way to create some basic shots without having to do any editing, without having to use the app or the Insta360 Studio. It's all kind of done inside the camera and spits out a MP4 file ready to upload right away, so you don't have to go through that extra step. But for example, if you wanted to create a shot that's tracking your face, that is an option in the Instaframe mode, and you can move your camera around and it will track your face, then spit out a video that's constantly and consistently locked onto your face. So great for vlogging, great for an explainer video. I'll explain what all of this means in a minute. It will be much more clearer once I show you with some videos. But essentially, when you shoot these Instaframe videos, you'll get a 360 video, which you can edit, and you'll get an MP4 video that's ready to upload straight away. Now, the downside to the Instaframe is that it is limited to 5.7K. So when you do the reframing, that's essentially like 1080p. So it is lower quality. But let's get into the full tutorial where I'm going to show you exactly how to use Instaframe and exactly what kind of content you can get with it. Let's go. First, let's take a look at the options available when you go into the Instaframe mode. This is the screen that comes up when you enter the Instaframe mode on the camera. Now, if we just pause for a second, and I'll go through what some of those icons mean. The icon that's selected now, if we tap that, then it would take us to the different frames that we can get. So there's top, down, front, back, and custom. So I will explain what those mean in an example video coming up. The icon next to that activates the face tracking mode. The icon below is where we choose the resolution and frame rate, but we're probably going to stick to 5.7K 30 FPS. And the two icons on the preview screen that kind of look like arrows in a circular motion, these activate the pre-built-in movements. If you were recording, once you press those, it will record a movement which will be visible in your video. And once again, I'll explain what that means. It will become clear in a minute when I show you some examples. So if we carry on now, I'm going to tap on the mode selection. So we're going to see here, here's where you select either to use a front lens, rear lens, top view, or bottom view. And this is basically where the camera is going to be recording when you use the Instaframe mode. But again, I know this sounds a bit complicated now, but just bear with me for a minute and you'll see what it looks like and how to use it. It's actually easier than it seems. At the bottom there, you can select how far you're zoomed in. So at the moment we're in mega view, but you could zoom in and out depending on how you wanted your image to look. And then if you tap on the face tracking button next to that, you'll see it starts to track my face immediately. And if I were to move around, it would carry on tracking that. And if you were recording, then that's what would be recorded. And here you can see where you can select the frame rate and resolution. But that's it. Let's start looking at exactly how to use this mode and what it looks like. Hey guys, so I'm going to show you how to use the Instaframe feature in the Insta360 X5. We're going to be using two cameras, the X5, which I'm shooting with right now, and another one to show you the movements. Just basically should be a good way to explain what's happening and how this kind of feature works. So I'm actually using it right now. I'm using the selfie mode, the face tracker. So you can see as I move the camera, it's tracking my face. You can see in the other view. See, it tracks my face, so this will spit out a video without me doing any editing. It will look like how it looks. This video that you're watching, I didn't do any editing. It's just tracking my face, and it will, yeah, just spit out a video. MP4 video, so no editing, no keyframes required. So yes, that is the first mode. As you can see, it tracks my face pretty well, no matter how much I move the camera up and down. So that is the first mode, or the most popular one, or probably the most useful one, the face tracking mode. So now I'm shooting using rear view mode. So rear view is basically with this lens here pointing towards the camera, you can see. So as you can see, it's only filming with this lens pointing outwards. So wherever I point this lens, as if it was like your phone, as if I was using it like a phone. So Yeah, I think this is a less useful one because you're not really using the full 360 element, but it is super stabilized. So yeah, that's the rear view. And similarly, this is now front view. This is using the other lens, the lens that's looking at me. So you can see here, it's not tracking my face. It's just like using the lens, using the front-facing lens. So that's the lens that is next to the screen, the same as the screen. So again, if I turn it around, you can see just follows the movements of that lens. So wherever that lens is pointing is the video you're gonna get. So once again, no editing required for these videos. Now we're shooting with top view. So that is basically pointing upwards. It's using both lenses, and whatever is in between these two lenses, wherever I point this, is where it's gonna be filming. So as you can see the camera now, and as I point upwards, now you can see the sky. If I pointed towards this wall, it's almost like it's painting that direction. Whatever's in between these two lenses, that way is what it's gonna be recording. So you can see here what I'm doing, looking at the floor, looking at my bag, looking at the camera, looking at the wall. So it's like pointing outwards. So whatever you point at is what's gonna be filmed. Now we're filming the opposite direction, downwards. So basically, if I have this invisible selfie stick, it usually works better if you extend it out a bit. It's basically filming whatever is this way, and because the camera is kind of like a wide angle, you're basically recording yourself. So as long as you keep your hands near you, you're going to be recording yourself the whole time. So you can see from below, high up, wherever I go, it's filming towards where the selfie stick is, in between, facing towards me right now. So this is good if you were wanting to do a kind of shot like this. You can see kind of how it works, I'm hoping. Yeah, it's a good way to record yourself. So yeah, guys, that is basically it. That's a quick rundown of the Instaframe mode, the kind of different shots you can get. That is a big part of it. You also have the option of some pre-built in movements. Now you can either do that on the screen, you can buy a little remote that does these movements, but let me show you what one of them is. This movement is done in the camera, not editing. So you can see it's doing a 360 spin. This will be embedded in the final video. Once again, no editing required. And we also have this as well. Woo! There we go. So those are some actions, some movements that you can do with the Instaframe mode without doing any editing. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. That is a rundown of the Instaframe mode. You also have some options for increasing the field of view or reducing. You can do linear, you can do wide angle. It's going to depend on the kind of video you're trying to create. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about that. And yeah, it's a good addition, I think. It removes some editing for some more basic shots, and yeah, the less editing required, the better. But yeah, that's it, guys. See you next time. Okay, guys, so I hope that little tutorial was useful. Hopefully that was explained what Instaframe is and how you can use it. I think it's mostly useful for face tracking. I've used it already a few times. It's great to not have to go in and do any editing if I just want the video to follow my face, if I'm speaking to the camera. If you want some more advanced tutorials on the X5 and all the other Insta360 cameras and how to use the full editing options and create some more advanced effects, then check out my Insta360 video course. At the moment, I'm giving 20% off anyone who clicks on the link in the description, exclusive to just a few videos. So if you're watching this, you may not find that discount anywhere else, and I'm doing that for the next couple of weeks to celebrate the release of the X5. But that's it, guys. Let me know what other tutorials you may want from the X5 or other Insta360 cameras, and I'll see you next time. Bye.